Boise's Mix 106, new movies out this week with Willie Waffle. Our Mix 106 movie critic include The Choice, Hail Caesar, and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
I think Jane Austen is rolling over in her grave. If she comes back as a zombie, I know who she's attacking first.
The director?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Burr Steers.
You know, we really have, as they say in the showbiz business, jump the shark when you take Pride and Prejudice and add zombies.
Yeah, it's like, we just can't think of anything else, so let's take something famous and just add zombies. What's going to be next, Superman and zombies?
Here's the sad part. This thing is probably going to be a huge hit just because it has zombies. And no one would, and it's from people who would never in a million years go see Pride and Prejudice.
Well, and that's the thing. Why stay true to the story if everybody in the theater has not even heard of Pride and Prejudice, let alone Jane Austen? Okay? I mean, they're all there to see the zombies. And so you've got the Pride and Prejudice story. You've got the Bennett sisters, and they're all looking for husbands except for Lizzie. She just doesn't have time for silly games and silly boys. But they're also living in the time of the zombie apocalypse, and they roam the English countryside as great warriors who fight zombies.
Is there anything I'm going to find even a little interesting in this movie? I'm talking me personally, who has no interest in zombies.
It starts off very funny and very campy, and I wish they had stuck with that because, let's face it, it's a silly premise and everybody knows it. But then it starts to get too serious. It starts to get too dramatic. They really are starting to focus in on all the Jane Austen prose, which, as we've mentioned, nobody cares about.
So what do you give it?
I'm going to say 2 waffles.
All right, let's get to the Coen brothers movie. They're, quite frankly, well known for making pretty darn good movies over the years. But, man, I can't for the life of me figure out if this one's going to be any good or not. Hail Caesar.
Yeah, it's not, okay? It's set in 1951. You got George Clooney playing kind of this Hollywood leading man. He's working on a big, massive studio film, and he's kidnapped and held for ransom. And now it's up to Josh Brolin, the studio exec, who figures these things out, to figure it out. It's just boring. It's so boring. I mean, they do a wonderful job kind of recreating that kind of bygone Hollywood atmosphere, that 1940s, 1950s kind of glamorous Hollywood, but it's all window dressing. There's no real great story in here. There's nothing that's, got you excited. There's nothing that's got you intrigued. There's nothing that has twists and turns. You really just have a movie where all the actors roll out funny accents. And you've got great actors. George Clooney, Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, Scarlett Johansson, Josh Brolin. This is a good cast, and I think they all were excited to work with Joel and Ethan Coen, but they didn't read the script.
So, what do you give it?
I'm going to say 1 waffle.
Ouch! That's too bad because usually the Coen brothers put together good movies.
Yeah, I mean, come on, the history speaks for itself. But I think this one, I think they just got wrapped up in kind of the idea rather than the story. So the idea that we can recreate this time of Hollywood and mock it and have fun with it, but they didn't actually do anything with it.
All right, and then our final movie this week, I can't figure out is this a drama or is it a scary movie?
Oh no, it's a drama.
Okay, so it's not a horror flick.
Well, it's a horror flick for anybody who likes good movies.
Oh, it is a good movie.
No, it's not.
Oh, you're so confusing.
It's based on a Nicholas Sparks novel, and it's called The Choice. And you know what we're going to get?
Somebody's going to die at the end. I just can't figure out who it is.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, it'll all be set in a lazy little southern town by the water. And yes, she's a feisty medical student. He's a suave ladies' man, and he really wants her to fall in love with him. But he's kind of creepy and greasy and gross, and I don't understand it. But eventually she succumbs to his charms, and then there's a horrible tragedy, and he must make the choice.
Dun, dun, dun. So it kind of is a horror flick. It's
so bad. Oh, jeez. It's just totally cliche and totally sappy and totally silly. But at least there's not a ghost like there was in Safe Haven.
I don't understand. It's like this guy, Nicholas Sparks I'm talking about, had that one fantastic movie that still, in my opinion, is one of my top probably 10 favorite movies of all time, The Notebook. And he has been living off that one fantastic movie for the last 15 to 20 years.
Lucky son of a gun.
I know.
I wish I could have come up with this idea. This would, come on. He's just come up with a formula that's just, he doesn't open up his wallet. He opens up the bank vault.
I just don't get. I wish I could get that lucky, but apparently I did something in a former life that I'm not going to have people just handing me money left and right for nothing.
It's because you cared about your soul and you cared about your art.
So what do you give this one?
Half a waffle.
Oh my gosh! What? So that means we have 2.5 waffles between 3 movies.
Well, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies gets 2 waffles.
Okay, so
we're up to like 3.5.
3.5 between 3 movies. That's not a good batting average.
That says Super Bowl, people. Super Bowl.
All right. What do we have next week? Anything that we have any hopes for to be better than this week?
Well, you're going to have Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, and you're going to have Zoolander 2.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say just one of those movies is going to have more than a whole lot that we had this week. And I'm not talking about Zoolander.
Yeah, it's hard to believe in Ben Stiller anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you next week, Willie. Thanks.
All right, talk to you then.